Well, hello there. I know it's been a hot minute since I've picked up the camera, so I feel this sense of awkwardness that has returned, and I'm kicking myself for not having continued on with this right after I did the 24-hour reading vlog like 2 months ago, because I felt that towards the end of that video I started feeling a little more comfortable with filming, but clearly I haven't picked it up since then because there has been no video posted since that one. So here we are. It's currently April. It's Monday, April 8th, and yeah, like I said, I haven't picked up the camera in 2 months, since February, and it feels very strange, but I'm very excited to get back into it. I have just been thrown lots of curveballs with life, and I feel like I'm at a point right now where I'm comfortable picking this back up because I feel more settled in where I'm at. To put it very briefly, Alec and I are now renting a house with some of our family members, and we're kind of just trying to, figure out what it's like to live with other people now, because we were so used to living with others for 2 years, and we're really trying to save money towards our future. So this is why we took this step towards that, because we figured, we're young, why not move in with a couple roommates and try to save as much money as possible, because we know what we want in our future. I have reestablished my reading corner / reading nook, and I am in a shared space with another roommate, and I'm very excited about just getting back into the groove of things. So with that being said, that's why I've been gone for so long, but I have kept reading. Life has still moved on. I started a new job, which was another bigger factor into why I stopped recording. Basically what happened was that we suddenly decided that we were going to move into a bigger space to rent with others around the same time that I was getting a new job. So we were in the middle of me doing a new hire orientation for said job, packing up our entire 2-bedroom apartment that we had to ourselves, and moving into this house in a matter of 3 weeks. So right now, like I said, it's Monday. It's actually the day of the solar eclipse, which, well, first of all, let me say, earlier today, I felt so off, from the beginning. And I know it's because I started drinking caffeine later on into my afternoon. And I didn't realize it was going to affect me as much as it did, because I guess I never really drink afternoon coffee, but I really didn't think it was going to do anything to me. So basically I had a cup of coffee at 5 p.m. yesterday, Sunday, and I couldn't go to sleep until about 1:30 in the morning, and I had to wake up at 6 o'clock to get ready for work and whatnot because I had an earlier shift, and I definitely felt it. So I was thrown off because I noticed I just took my earring off. Let me put that back in there. So I noticed that there is a correlation between the little sleep that I get and the amount of anxiety I feel the next day or the next morning, because lately, ever since this new shift has happened in our living situation and my job situation, my anxiety hasn't been as bad, but it's been picking up lately. And lack of sleep definitely contributes to that, and I know exactly what not to do now. So I guess moving forward, no more caffeine, which is absolutely fine. I don't need it. It's more of I do it for the flavor, so I just have to buy decaf Nespresso pods. So yeah, no more caffeine for me, because if I don't get enough hours of sleep, and by enough I mean at least 6, I wake up very anxious, and I feel it all right here in my chest. So I'm home now, and it's currently 2:57. Alec will get home around 5:45, and he'll probably want to go to the gym. I'm currently PMSing, so I don't really feel the best, which is cherry on top. So I might just walk on the walking treadmill in the basement and watch some YouTube, because I'm just not in the mood to exercise. Those are my updates. I'm going to sip on my coffee that I have here because it's only 3. And yeah, I'll check in with you guys later. Thanks. Hi. Okay, so I'm updating a little quicker than I thought I was going to, but I am gonna need to wait, 30 minutes for the video to be, fully exported out of the software I'm using. So with that being said, I'm actually gonna go here and grab a book. I'm currently reading, and this is embarrassing because I started these 2 books exactly a year ago, because Instagram reminded me, I am reading Throne of Glass, and I am still on these two books right here. Actually pretty far into them, but if that gives you an idea. So I am definitely less than, like combined, I have less than 100 pages to read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. My qualm with this series, not even the series, I love the series. I absolutely love Sarah J Maas. I adore her. I am an ACOTAR stan. That is by far my favorite fantasy, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quintet? 5 books, I don't know. My favorite fantasy series right now. By far my favorite. And nothing I read has topped it. It's come close. Powerless and Fourth Wing. They have come close, but nothing's going to top this in my eyes. Yet, hopefully. But I am on Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn because, well, no, first of all, Empire of Storms, I started reading like this. But then I told myself, no, you can't do that. You can't finish this book right now because you have to read Tower of Dawn, because you have to read them at the same time, because that's what everyone is telling you that you should do. So I want to make the book community proud and do these two books a solid and read them at the same time, because it is really cool that they're following the same timeline, just different characters and whatnot. But what gets me is that I'm following the main character here. We're following side characters that are not my favorite in this book. So it was very hard to get started, get into it. I ended up having to, I don't know why this curl is just there and it's bothering me. I ended up having to buy the audiobook because I just couldn't sit down and read it. It was like pulling teeth. So I downloaded the audiobook. I started puzzling while listening to it / coloring, because I'm into coloring now. And I was able to get maybe like halfway through, and then somewhere around like the halfway / like maybe a little less than that, I started reading it, because I did start getting more into the storyline that this book follows. So I'm doing better. I am on page, let's see if I can do this with one hand, 497. So I'm on page 497 on the Stichbuch. And then Empire of Storms, I'm on page 565. So I'm almost there. So all of this to say, I'm waiting for this to upload, and hello. I'm going to read more of her. And yeah. Back with a snack and a ladder. So yesterday I hung this little missy right here on a command strip, or a command hook, and I wanted to make sure I waited at least a day for the adhesive to stick, because I was so worried that the little plant I want to put inside this little beauty, I was so worried that it was gonna fall the moment I let it sit in there. So I risked my little hanging pot because I didn't want to risk my plant. And so far so good. It looks so cute. I'm so obsessed with this little corner. Got my, honestly, I'm so bad at plant names, but I got this one. I got little baby Groot stuck in a cage there. And this is where my other plant is gonna hang from. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. So have fun watching me flail. I'm already bumping into things. Ugh. Oh my god. Mission accomplished. She's adorable. She's also very leafy and very hairy, but she's cute and I love it. Ah, so pretty. So I think for the rest of this afternoon, I'm going to lay down to bed because I got like kind of, well, first of all, my YouTube video uploaded, so that's good. So you guys will see that in my channel if you want to go take a look at my very awkward self, even though I'm still very awkward. I got hit with a wave of cramps and nausea, which is normal for this time of the month. So I think I'm just gonna lay in bed with Tanjiro here keeping me company until Alec gets home. I'm gonna enjoy my snack and watch some YouTube, maybe some Miss Remy Ashton or Rem Live. Olivia Reads a Latte is also one of my favorites. But yeah, I may or may not check in for the rest of this day. So I'm gonna snack, watch YouTube, read some more later today, and I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Hello again, everyone. Happy Wednesday, because it is now Wednesday. To be quite honest, yesterday putting this away. Yesterday I didn't really do much after coming home from work. I didn't read. I just vegged out in bed after work because I was just getting, again, the worst menstrual symptoms, and I just felt so gross and cramps, and then I got nauseous out of nowhere, which is normal for me, unfortunately. So yeah, I just stayed in bed and didn't do much. But today is Wednesday. It's currently after work and it is 6:15 p.m. I am about to head home, and this morning you guys saw that I went to Target because I had to pick up a couple things for work, this work party that we did for Easter, and then I also picked up some personal stuff. So anyway, I did go to Target this morning. Nothing too crazy. I was just picking up some essentials like sandwich bread, toothpaste, and all that fun stuff, and then something for work. So then I found myself stumbling into the book section, as you guys saw, and I did pick up 2 books right here. And I know Alec is going to end up seeing this, but he's going to kill me when he finds out that I bought these 2 books, to be honest, but oh well. So first being The Inmate by Freida McFadden. If you guys don't know who she is a thriller / horror author. Well, I don't know, I wouldn't consider horror, but like mystery thriller. She is, in my opinion, one of the best thriller / mystery writers that I've ever read. Her books are super fast-paced, super captivating. They're genuinely like watching a movie, and it goes by so quick because you're just so engrossed in what's going on. There's never a dull moment. Every page, every chapter that she writes, it's all going towards the story, and I just appreciate that about her because nothing is ever drawn out for too long. So I got The Inmate, and it's basically about this nurse that works in a prison, and she finds out, she's aware that this prison is holding her high school sweetheart for murder, and there's just some shenanigans that go down, I guess. And I just thought this was so interesting because she doesn't know that he knows that she's there, and somehow she is involved with how he got in jail, and it's just I don't know what to expect, but I'm very excited. So yeah, we have this. And then yesterday I saw Haley Pham, her new video where she read, you know, a certain amount of hours a day when she spun a wheel. And she mentioned this book called The Villa by Rachel Hawkins, and she described it as darker than she thought it was going to be. And it wasn't the beachy read that she thought just by looking at it that it was going to be. So I was like, you know what? If she thinks it's dark, it must be good. I love dark stuff. I love books that contain a lot of trigger warnings because I just like to be disturbed. So I picked this up. Basically, it's about two girls. They were best friends growing up, and then as they grew older, they became more distant and whatnot. One friend reaches out to the other, and they're I guess, proposing an idea of going on vacation. But I guess there are some underlying intentions as to why this girl wants to take her on a vacation, and I guess we find that out as the story unfolds. So yeah, that's The Villa. And I could have absolutely butchered the summary, but I don't know. If Haley said it was dark, I'm picking it up because one, I do trust her book recommendations. Two, I love dark thrillers / horrors, so I'm hoping this lives up to the expectations in my head. But if not, then I just have a beautiful new book that I've added to my collection. So yeah. I am actually going to go ahead and start driving home now. I might read this afternoon after we eat dinner. I'm still not sure. It depends on what Alec wants to do. But, you know, I might just film what's going on and I'll keep you guys updated. Fun tip for anyone that is a new plant person. I was told that it is the best to water plants, especially if you're brand new and you don't know, like, you know, watering patterns and whatnot and what's best and what versus what isn't, to prevent overwatering your plants. Most of them always come in these plastic planters with the holes at the bottom, or even some of my planters, a lot of them have holes on the bottom because of this. And I've even had Alec drill some holes into planters that I've purchased that are just, you know, holeless. And I'll show you in a bit what that means. But basically, if you take your plant, whatever plant it is, and you stick it, as long as it has a hole at the bottom, you stick it in a little, either a bowl, container, a pot of water, and you time it for maybe, like, I do 12 to 14 minutes at a time. If you let it just sit there, it soaks up the water that it needs straight from the bottom without being overwatered. So if, as opposed to like if you dump and dump and dump water at the top, your chances of overwatering are much higher than if you just let it sit here and let it soak up what it needs, because it'll never soak up anything more than what their roots can take. Especially if you watch it, if you put a timer, like on my phone, I usually put like 14 minutes. So I'm just gonna restart the same timer. And that's how I know that this one is ready to come out, is when the timer rings. And honestly, this has been the most helpful tip that I've learned, because that was my biggest fear, especially with the cacti who are, you know, not too water friendly. It's best to water them at the bottom. So like here, for example, this little guy came in a pot with a drainage hole, they're called, so the hole that drains the water. So what I do is, like, I get a little container, let it sit in water for 12 to 14 minutes, take it out, and then that's that, because I know that because it has a hole, it only took what it needed. This guy, however, came in a pot that doesn't have a hole at the bottom. So with him, I'm a little more careful. I just water around maybe twice, and then that's that for the next 2 weeks, because it's easier to overwater in a pot like this because the water has nowhere to go. Therefore, your plant could end up sitting in water in like the wet soil for days and days and days, and that causes root rot, which means that you're basically endangering your plant and possibly killing it. Versus if this one takes up too much water, at least the excess will come out from the bottom. So that's a tip. Hi, hello. Okay, so it's a couple hours since the last time I saw you guys while I was watering my plants. I'm back in my reading room and I figured it'd be fun to just sit down and, well, first of all, I want to peel these dang stickers off of these books that I got from Target because it's really bothering me. I never leave the stickers on and I have a feeling that I'm going to struggle because Target always has the worst stickers for their books. I'm eating my words now. I got the sticker off very smoothly off of The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Now on to The Villa by Rachel Hawkins. God, it's just like the worst feeling of not knowing if you're gonna leave like sticky stuff on it. Oh, that actually went well. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this bookshelf, it has all of my like horror slash thriller slash mysteries on it, and I did have them initially, I did initially have them organized by author, but because of the move, and again I kind of just tossed everything, I'm not wearing a bra, I'm sorry, I kind of just put everything together just so that it all fits. So I'm gonna try to find, okay, so a change of plans. I'm not gonna organize my bookshelves right now, even though I really want to. At some point, maybe I'll just make that a video. I'm just gonna throw these two books on this bookshelf here where I keep all of my thrillers, my horrors, my mysteries, and put them relatively close to an author that they should go by. Like, I have three Frida McFadden books already, so I'm gonna add that one in here. Actually, I want to talk. This book, Never Lie, is by far my favorite thriller mystery by Frida McFadden, and originally I had read it on the Kindle because Sarah Caroli had mentioned it at one point in her vlogs, I can't remember which one, or her reading vlog, and said that it was one of the best mysteries that she's read, and to be quite honest, the twist like had me hooked. It was so good. I did not expect anything from this author because it was my very first one that I read of hers. But after this one, I read maybe like 3 others. So I read this one. I read Brain Damage on my Kindle, which is also another excellent book from her. And like I mentioned when I picked this one, ow, that was loud. Like I mentioned when I picked up The Inmate, her books are like movies to me. Like, they're not that thick. They're like, what, 300 pages long, almost 300, maybe even a little less. I am getting off of my soapbox and I'm gonna go ahead and put these books away now. Okay. Ooh, thought I saw a bug. Okay, so like I said, I thought it would be fun to kind of just go over all of the books I'm currently reading. I am a huge mood reader. I definitely cannot set a TBR to save my life because I am always in the mood for just something different, especially after I finish one book. It just depends on how I'm feeling after that book. Like Powerless, to give you an example, I didn't read a book after I finished that one for a good while just because that book was so good and I loved it so much. But I am in the middle of reading a good amount of books, and that's my problem. I can't seem to finish one book because then I'm in the mood for another, so I always am reading multiple books at the same time, and multiple genres even at that. So starting with a book series that I've been reading for over a year now, but specifically these 2 books I have been reading since last April, and I gave you guys kind of an idea of what I'm reading right now, but I'm just going to go over it again. That is Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. This is part of the Throne of Glass series, one of her most popular series, and like I said earlier in the video, I love Sarah J. Maas. I love the Throne of Glass series. It's just, I don't know what it is. Okay, psychologically, maybe I don't want to finish the series because I love the character so much, because when I dive back into these books, I feel very emotionally attached, and sometimes it's hard for me to get back into it just because, like I said, I feel like something is going to happen in the little amount of time that I have left with this book. And I know there's still Kingdom of Ash left, and I feel like that book is going to wreck me. I have a feeling that this one character in my mind is not going to make it to the end, and it's really scaring me, so maybe that's why I'm not touching it as much as I should. One thing that I definitely think could have helped me finish these 2 books or even the series quicker is if I downloaded the Kindle versions of both books, because I mean, when I'm going out and about, I usually love to have a book with me in my bag, in my backpack, wherever I go, just because you never know when you're going to be waiting for something or if you're going to be in the car. I don't know. I just like to always have a book with me. And I couldn't take these anywhere because they're so thick. They're beautiful books, but because they don't make them in this cover anymore, the original covers, I'm so careful about where I take these if I do take them out of the house, which is rare. But like if I want to take them to work to read on my lunch break, I can't do that because I don't have a book cover to put these in. And if I put them just loose in my car, I'm afraid that they're going to move around and shake and the edges are going to be all battered up. But yeah, I really do feel like I should have stuck with the Kindle version of these, because then I can just easily go back and forth versus having to take both books, because I can't just take one because you have to flip-flop. And I do have the audiobook of Tower of Dawn, which I guess is like, you know, that's good to have if I want to just take Empire of Storms with me somewhere. But in the end, sometimes I just like picking up a book and reading versus listening to it. I mean, definitely helped. The audiobook definitely helped, but you know what I mean. So I'm also reading a thriller mystery. I don't even know if it's considered a thriller, but I am currently reading Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney, and I am on page 188 out of, oh my god, I don't want to spoil anything, from 294, so just under 300. So not that far left to finish it, and so far so good. I mean, I did have higher hopes for this book just because Sarah Caroli mentioned it, like she also said this was one of her favorite mysteries, and I very much put all of my hopes into the reviews that I hear from anyone, not even just her, but just anyone. If they like it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like it. But I don't know, it's kind of dragging. It's interesting, and I think maybe I shot myself in the foot again because I haven't been reading it as frequently, so then it just feels like the story's dragging on. But then at the same time, like, I'm trying to get invested and I don't think I can. Like, it's hard to explain with the characters. Like, you want to like them, but you can't. But I know it's a mystery, so it's not like they're trying to sell you their characters the way that, you know, I was sold on these. But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun read. I pick it up every once in a while, and I only have, like, this much left to read, so it really shouldn't take me that long. So yeah, I'm going to finish that soon. On to my Kindle. I can't even tell you what version of the Kindle I have because Alec got this for me for my birthday, maybe I think the first birthday I spent with him. So this is just like about 4 years ago. I think it's a Kindle Paperwhite. I don't know. I did buy this cover 4 years ago as well, and I'm due for a new one because you can see that it's like cracking here, and it's such a beautiful cover. And I might even just get the same one again. But so I'm reading Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell. That is a thriller. It's about this cabin and I guess the lore / history behind the cabin, and this couple goes to stay there, and the female, the girlfriend, she is very sensitive to, I guess, what's going on around the cabin with like the spirits, and like there's just something evil that's around them, that's following them. And the boyfriend currently is like, you know, trying to be the hero and trying to figure out what's going on. And it is actually pretty creepy. Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte was reading it, and she had recommended it, I believe. And it's on Kindle Unlimited, so it was a steal for me. And it's just like a fun, like spooky story to read at night, because that's when I usually pick this up, is when I'm either having trouble reading or I just feel like doing something and Alec is already asleep in bed next to me. That's usually when I pull out the Kindle. So Stolen Tongues by Felix Blackwell. It is creepy, so I do recommend that. I'm a 53% of the way through. I am also reading Their Vicious Darling, and this is part of the Never King like series, and this is smut. It is full-blown smut, so if you're into that, I highly recommend it. It is enjoyable. It's very fantasy-esque. It's like a twisted Peter Pan type of novel, or series I should say, but again, it's just smutty and it's just fun to read, and it's, you know, if you want a good time while reading some fantasy, that's definitely what I would recommend to someone. But it does get very graphic, and it's like a reverse harem kind of thing, so fair warning. I am also reading Petals on the Wind. No, I didn't finish reading it. Why is it marked as finished? Petals on the Wind. It is book 2 to the Flowers in the Attic book by V.C. Andrews. If you have not read Flowers in the Attic and you like psychological thriller slash, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a very dark book. But I don't know, it makes you feel so much. It's about a family that fell into hard times, and the mother is looking to her mother and her father, you know, the children's grandparents, but they're estranged. So she reaches out to them when they're going through hardship, and the grandmother is like, fine, yes, come back home, but your father still doesn't know that you have children. He can't know because he's sick and yada, yada, yada. So you have to hide the children in this one room that's connected to an attic. So the kids are basically forced to live their life in this small room slash attic that it's connected to, while mom is trying to win back the good graces of her father and her mother, hoping to, you know, be written into her father's will again. But the thing is, her father doesn't know that she has children, and that's like the big because she left when she was really young, so she can't just suddenly come back and be like, oh, by the way, you have grandkids. So it's just super twisted. What the kids go through is so sad, and it just takes you down like a spiral of so many different emotions. But I loved the book, and I feel that if a book can bring out, you know, tears of joy, tears of sadness, wonder, and if it makes you feel so strongly about the character situation, it did its job for me. So that was a 5-star read, even a 6-star. So this is book 2 to that. Okay, so I'm currently reading Gross Out by Duncan Ralston, and this is book 2 to the Lonely Motel series. The first book was called Woom, W-O-O-M, and if you see, this is where it's like, ugh, don't judge me. I love morbid, gross, disgusting, love all trigger warnings. I will read anything that'll disturb me / watch any movie that'll disturb me or that is meant to disturb. If you are that type of person that just likes to go like, or just like, you know, cringe at whatever they're reading or seeing, and you do it on purpose to yourself, I highly, highly recommend Woom, W-O-O-M. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It is the strangest, grossest, disgusting book I have ever read. And it'll take, like, the author takes you through stories that's like, oh, dude, what is going on? But it's interesting and it's captivating, again, if you like the morbid, the gross, the macabre, the disgusting. So I'm reading Gross Out, that's book 2, and it's somehow connected to Womb. I'm still like working towards it, but so far I'm enjoying it. Again, it has its niche audience. That's all I'll say. It's definitely a niche interest, and if you are into that kind of stuff, or if you even want to take a peek at it, like, go ahead and give it a shot. It was kind of gross. Like, at some point I was gagging reading whatever it was I was reading at the time. It was that bad. But I have noticed that as I gotten older, my gag reflex, just even thinking about gross stuff, like, is so sensitive, and it gets triggered, and I never used to be like that. My stomach hurts sometimes when I watch scary movies now, which is like, you know, side note. Yeah, I'm just getting older. And tomorrow I'm turning 27, so it's like, what else is gonna happen? What else is gonna change? But yeah, there's that. And I think that's everything. I think that is all that I'm reading right now. Hi, good morning, friends. It is Sunday, April 14th. It's about 11, maybe almost 12. I haven't even looked at the clock lately, but yeah, it's Sunday, and this weekend was just full of a bunch of birthday festivities. I turned 27 on Friday, and Alec planned this super sweet surprise birthday party for me with my immediate family, and it was just so was just awesome. He ended up cooking for my parents and my siblings, and we had a good time. And then yesterday we saw my grandparents after we went to the movies to see Shrek 2 in theaters, because I freaking love that movie. I think Shrek 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it was just really nice to see it in theaters for its anniversary. So that was fun. But yeah, it's Sunday and I woke up with a headache, and headaches used to be kind of like normal for me, but lately, I would say the past couple months, not as much anymore. So the headache I feel right now, it could get really bad. Like it could turn into a migraine because I feel it all like on this side of my head. So I'm trying to do some preventative action right now, and one of my aunts sent me a video on a TikTok, and it was this woman explaining how if you dip your feet into some hot water for about 20 minutes, or just soak in hot water for 20 minutes, it should relieve some of the pressure from your head, because something about pulling the blood flow to your feet versus all of it being built up here, which causes headaches. So I'm gonna try that, and I'm currently running the bath right now. I'm gonna put in some Epsom salts and the oils and all the fun bath stuff just so I can have a grand old time, because I'm gonna try to read on my Kindle while soaking my feet, because I actually got into rock, paper, scissors. Let me get the book. Okay, so yesterday during work, because I work maybe like 1 to 3 Saturdays a year, depending on what the rotation schedule is like. But at work, I was able to get a lot of my reading done because it was just so slow, and it was a Saturday, not really much going on. So I'm actually on page 239. So I have like that much left. I downloaded it on my Kindle because I saw that it was on Kindle Unlimited, and yeah, I'm gonna just soak my feet, read more of that, maybe finish it because I don't really think it's gonna take me too long, and I will check in later. Hi, so I realized yesterday that I never ended this video, so it's currently Monday. I'm just gonna close it all out. Basically, I finished Rock, Paper, Scissors yesterday, and it was absolutely amazing. I am kicking myself for ever saying that it was slow and that I wasn't enjoying it as much as I thought I was gonna be, because the ending definitely made up for it. The last couple chapters were the biggest plot twist that I wasn't expecting, and that's always what I look forward to when reading mystery and thrillers. So it definitely delivered in that department, and I'm just so giddy and want to jump in another thriller, which I might do tonight, honestly, because I do have those 2 new books that I picked up from Target. So yeah, I mean, I would rate it a 4 out of 5, only because, and it would have been a 5-star had I read it in maybe 3 days. But I think it was a whole 2 weeks of me picking it up on and off, and I don't know, I just feel like thrillers should definitely be read within a couple days, because they should be like quick reads, and they are. It's just I shot myself in the foot, as I've mentioned before. So I highly recommend it if you like thrillers, if you like mysteries, if you love plot twists. It's definitely the book for you. So Rock, Paper, Scissors by is it Alice Feeney? Yes, it was Alice Feeney. I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully the next video I can be more accustomed to filming a weekly vlog, because I think this is what I'm gonna do, just film my everyday reading and whatnot, because I think that is what's best for me right now as I get settled into the new home and whatnot. But yeah, thank you so much if you made it this far, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!